That's £5.74, lad.
It's not just shoplifting that store workers have to deal with.
OK?
Where's the bread on?
It's just down this middle aisle on the right-hand side.
It's also abuse and even violence.
There will always be that third of the population that don't care about anyone else or how it affects them, and if you ask them to do something, are just going to become aggressive towards you.
It's estimated that every day in the UK there are around 455 incidents of abuse against shop workers, and their trade union says it's getting worse.
What was really shocking in the last 12 months when we did our last survey was the levels of violence had more than doubled. And something like 88% of staff were actually saying they'd been verbally abused at least once in the last 12 months. About 60% said they'd been threatened with physical violence, and nearly 1 in 10 had actually been physically assaulted in the last year, which is almost unheard of. That's more than twice the rates that we were picking up in the previous year, and the previous year was bad enough.
Shop workers have been on the front line of the pandemic dealing with antisocial behaviour.
Since the pandemic, everybody's got something to say. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's got their opinion on like wearing a mask.
I think the age group that I've noticed it from more has surprised me. A lady in her mid-60s threw a newspaper at me because I asked her to come around the one-way system the right way.
We had a guy come in January not wanting to put a mask on. He ended up throwing a bottle of beer around.
Some stores have reported a 4-fold increase in attacks.
Shop staff have been spat at for asking customers to social distance, and stock has been deliberately smashed in retaliation for item limits being imposed.
At the start of 2021, the Scottish Parliament passed a law to protect retail staff from assault at work.
455 incidents of violence and abuse each day, yet only 6% of these incidents result in prosecution.
At Westminster, there are demands for something similar with a private member's bill introduced by Labour MP Alex Norris.
What we do know is that it is taking its toll on individuals. It's creating long-term stress. For all of us, we just need to put ourselves in those shoes. How would we feel about having that at work? How would we feel whether it's verbal abuse, whether it's physical abuse? You carry those things around with you.
You want to look after not only yourself, but everybody else around you, those you work with, those that you come into contact with. I think it's just something anyone in retail kind of just has to take on the chin, and you just have to bounce back from it.
Abuse should never be accepted as part of the job. The sad thing is, over the years, it has become such a regular part of the work that lots of people do put up with it and accept it's just something that they have to accept if they're going to work in the industry. But why should people, particularly low-paid people, all they're trying to do is provide a service to the public?
It's really important that retail staff speak out, at a basic level, that they report what's happening, because it builds the coalition of parliamentarians who want to change something. But you do detect a certain fatigue in that, because there's only so often you want to tell your story about something really quite unpleasant happening to you. So we hope they'll continue to speak out. I desperately encourage them to. We will make sure that those stories are taken seriously.
And most would agree that shop workers should not have to deal with this in the workplace. It's time the abusers were made to pay for their actions.
I guarantee it's not just that shop they're doing, it's other shops as well. So it's important to crack down on these.